I will tell you that what we're trying to do over here is pack in as much wisdom and like real life healing stuff in as short a time as possible, because our primary method of communication is on YouTube, and the YouTube is like the 1 to 3 minutes kind of thing. So here goes. Okay, now I'm putting out other videos. I don't care. I'm not going to limit it to 3 minutes. You know, if there's a thought, then and it takes longer than 3 minutes, then I'm going to say it. Okay, so it's okay. Listen, I want to provide value. I don't want to waste your time. So if the words of healing are helpful, then listen. Forget about the time. Look, I mean, I can get into a whole discussion on time and how we spend our time and how I spend my time. I ain't no angel. Okay? So anyhow, today, I want to share with you a story about something that happened to me a couple of years ago. I was invited to speak at a conference in New York. Ooh, in Manhattan. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I felt like a really, important. And I remember stepping up and standing in front of a packed room, and I had a presentation prepared, and it was a Jewish nurses conference. And I was like, hey, so I'm a rabbi and I'm a nurse. Let me talk about hope. So I prepared this presentation on hope, and it was like spiritually based. So it's funny because I got up and I had such an awesome time giving. There are certain conference etiquettes that I learned about after. So kind of like, let's not get into it now. But what happened was they actually mailed me a check. I wasn't even expecting it. It was so awesome. It covered the expenses for the whole trip. And I got this letter with feedback. And you know how they do the surveys at the end of conferences, especially educational conferences, right? So I got the feedback, and I was reading. I was like, wow, this is good. Oh, he connects with the crowd and like all these cool stuff, like very informative, right? But that was a quote, right? But then whoever prepared that paper chose to stick something in there, and it was feedback, so that's cool, right? But this is what it was. This is what it said. Didn't talk about anything. I still have the letter. Didn't talk about anything. And when I saw that, I was thrilled. It was so cool. I was like, wow, someone actually listened. Someone listened to what I was saying. That's right. It was a speech on hope in healthcare. And what I was trying to say was, step back from the technical stuff for a minute. Don't ignore the technical stuff. Continue to use the technical stuff. But there's always hope. There's always hope. So that was like the gist of what I was saying, right? And someone must have just taken it as, he's not offering me practical, like technical, medical technique advice. And I was like, thanks. Thank you. You listened, but you missed the point, because I was talking about that exactly. Does that make sense? You see, a big part of what I'm trying to do is share feelings. It's how I speak. If I get up, you ever see me getting up in the synagogue? I get up there and I usually try to have something prepared. But if I find like there's a certain point where if you want to connect with your crowd, you need to step out of like what everyone else does. In other words, you got to be yourself. Okay, you can't be like, right? And I'm not ripping on anyone. I'm talking about that one thing that I try to do is like, I want to connect with you. I want you to feel connected with me. I don't want you to even be looking at the time on this. Oh, good Lord.